a little get ready with me / get to know me video because this will be my first YouTube video, which is really exciting. I don't know really how to start a video, so sorry if this is a little awkward at first, but there's no bad way to start something you want to try. So that's the lesson there. That's the lesson here. First thing I do is put on my little headband so I can keep my hair out of my face. I just got this at the Dollar Tree for $1.25, so shout out Dollar Tree because my old one was getting crusty and dusty. Sorry if you hear my dog. That's probably something I should have thought about before this, but he's doing his thing. I'm gonna start out with the La Roche-Posay Matte Moisturizer. I like this because I'm gonna have to edit a lot of this out because he won't stop whining. It's okay. He's living his best dog life. I like this moisturizer because it's mattifying and I am a very oily skinned girl. I got that from my dad who has very oily skin as well. And the reason I keep looking over here is because my makeup mirror is right here. So I'm gonna kind of go back and forth between looking at y'all and the mirror, if that's okay. But yeah, I just kind of start my, ooh, the dog thing's probably gonna be like a real problem for videos. It's fine, this is just for fun anyways. So yeah, I'm just gonna start with a perfect moisturized face. Perfect is a stretch, and then I'm gonna go in with L'Oreal True Match, my tried and true favorite. I don't know what shade I am. Warm Light 1, which I'm pretty sure is like the first shade because I'm very pale. I've only laid out by the pool twice this year because it's March, to be fair, so it's pretty early, but I live in South Mississippi, so this is about the time when you can usually start laying out. And these past few weekends have been really warm and nice. I think this weekend is going to be that way as well. But yeah, I'm excited for summer. I've been ready for summer since winter because winter is just a little bit sad to me in some ways. I love Christmas time. I love being together with my family more, which obviously comes with the holidays. But I also feel like the weather and just the whole season apart from Christmas is not my favorite, really. I'm more of a spring summer person. I also have a soft spot for fall because I love Halloween. Fun fact about me, I'm like obsessed with Halloween and all things that are scary. Not like super scary because I'm kind of a baby, but things that are a little bit scary. Like I love clowns. I have some ceramic clowns on top of my fridge that I just keep there because I love them. I'm gonna take away his bone so he's not chewing on that. I'm sorry. It's just gonna be really noisy, I'm sorry. You can have it later. He's about to be so mad at me for doing that, but it's fine. He'll forgive me. He's looking at me like, why did you do that? Yeah, I love all things kind of spooky. I collect ceramic clowns and like porcelain clowns, any clowns. My great grandmother loved clowns and she had a whole little curio case filled with mostly clowns. So I just kind of started loving them from there, I guess. And so I have several clowns on my fridge and my friends are not fond of them. The majority of them are not fond of them. So I kind of take them down because I realize that they are scary for some people. So I take them down when I have people coming over because I try to be considerate. But yeah, I love Halloween, all things spooky. It's just like my favorite other than summer. Spirit Halloween, I wish it was open year round, genuinely. What else can I say? YouTube's hard, y'all. No, I'm just kidding. Try being an influencer for a day. I think she's funny, actually. The girl who says that originally, I think she's funny. A little out of touch maybe, but I think I can be too at sometimes, so yeah. I guess just some basic things about me that we need to get out of the way. I am 22 years old. I'm gonna have to shut that door because he wants to eat. Can you go up here? Didn't mean to slam that. He's not gonna care. He just wants to eat his food. Some basic facts about me to kind of get started. I'm 22 years old. I'm from South Mississippi originally, and I still live pretty much in just slightly less South Mississippi because I moved for college. This is going really well, I think. Really super well. Yeah, I moved up here when I started college. My freshman year, I went straight to college because I was ready to get out of the house and kind of step away on my own a little bit, or at least I thought I was, and then I ended up really not loving my freshman year, which I think is a common experience for a lot of people, actually. But yeah, after that, I really fell in love with being here. I guess I can say where I'm from. That's kind of sticky. Well, Hattiesburg's big. I live in Hattiesburg for school, or I moved to Hattiesburg for school, and I have lived here since I graduated. I graduated like 9.5 months ago. I started working 9 months ago. This is the e.l.f. contour stick, e.l.f. contour beauty wand. It's like the dupe of the Charlotte Tilbury wand, which I know there's 1,000 dupes of that, but I really like this one. Big fan. Yeah, I started working 9 months ago. I'm actually an infusion nurse, which if you don't know what that is, I basically just start IVs all day and mix up different IV medicines, and then I hook people up to their infusions and I watch them while they're infusing to make sure they don't have any kind of bad reactions, which does happen sometimes and can be really scary. So yeah, my job's kind of really chill until it's not, which is kind of the case with a lot of healthcare, I feel. But I love it. I love my patients. I'm an infusion nurse in a neurology department, so most of my patients are Alzheimer's and dementia patients. And they're just the most wonderful people on the planet, genuinely. Like, I don't think I didn't really go into the job I'm at now wanting. Like, I didn't graduate nursing school and say, oh, I have to be a neurology infusion nurse. I really didn't even know that that was an option because it's so specific. But when I started looking for jobs and I applied there, the first thing I asked the manager was like, what kind of patients am I going to be seeing? Like, I didn't really understand what neurology infusion could even possibly mean. I was like, what kind of patient demographic are we talking about? Like, just so I'll know what I'm stepping into if I do get the job. And as soon as he said Alzheimer's and dementia patients, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have a soft spot for these people, and it's gonna be my favorite thing. And it's the best. They're all wonderful. Obviously there's hard days and there's days where they get upset at us and just at life, because it's a hard thing. It's a disease that takes a lot out of you. But yeah, that's kind of what I do. I love my patients. I love everyone I work with. I was really terrified in nursing school of graduating, actually, which is not the common thing, I don't think. I think everyone's like, please God, get me out of nursing school. But I was a little scared to graduate. I was definitely ready to be done with testing, don't get me wrong. I was super ready to be done being tested. This is the Ione blush stick in raspberry from the dollar store, and I love it so much. It's so good. The first time I tried to use it, I tried to put it straight on my skin and it messed up my foundation really bad. You have to put it on your hand and then go with your sponge. And then it is really pretty. You can see how much pigment that is. I'm obviously gonna put concealer on after this and kind of blend everything out better, but it's so gorgeous for $1.25. I love the Dollar Tree. As you can see, there's already 2 things in this video from the Dollar Tree. Yeah, when I was nearing graduation, I was really nervous because in college, it took me a minute to kind of find people that I felt close to, like a group of girls that I really felt close to and welcomed by. And I was like, going into the workforce is kind of like starting from scratch again. It's kind of like when you go from middle school to high school or high school to college. It's kind of like you're starting over a bit because you're going to be with all new people. And obviously I'm not like, I didn't go into work being like, oh, I hope I find my forever friends here. Like, it's not like a sorority or college situation. But yeah, I was just really hoping that the people I worked with would be nice. And I was really, really worried about that because that you really don't know. Going into a new job, you don't know what the people you work with are going to be like. That was the thing I was most scared for, because of that saying everyone's heard of, nurses eat their young. I was like, well, I don't particularly want to be eaten. Not really. And I feel like that was just not the case for me at all. I was very, very blessed. The girl who trained me is just precious and so nice and was so patient with me, because it takes me a while to learn like new systems. Like, it took me a while to learn Epic, for sure. We did Epic in nursing school, but obviously with every job, your Epic is going to be different because you're charting different things. So it took me a long time to get used to that. She made me a whole binder of everything that I was going to have to chart on a day-to-day, which was really awesome. Like, she's just the best. So everything I was worried about, I didn't need to be. It just kind of all fell into place, which is what I more than I could have ever hoped for. So yeah, I feel really blessed and happy with where I'm at. I love everything about my job, to be honest. I can't think of anything I dislike. Maybe waking up in the morning. I'm not a fan of waking up early, but I cannot complain because nurses at the hospital work 12-hour shifts. I work 9-hour days, which is a little funky, I know, but I work 9-hour days so that we can get off halfway through the day on Friday, if that makes sense. So if we worked 8-hour days instead of 9, we would just work full days on Friday as well. But we work 9-hour days so that we can have half a day on Friday. And that is really, really lovely. It's like a jump start to the weekend. Could not imagine a better schedule, especially as a nurse. Just, 12-hour shifts. I could never get behind that idea in nursing school, which probably sounds really lazy, but like, sorry, I just want like a normal work day. Like, think about your normal like person who works in an office or a cubicle. Like, they're not working 12-hour shifts. No one is really working 12-hour shifts. Well, I guess there's probably some other fields that do, but it was just not something that I was ever familiar with before realizing that nurses had to do that, the career that I had chosen for myself. And yeah, clinic was just a really clear path for me to take. It was obviously where I felt most led to be. So yeah, I really do love it. My clinic is really large though. I say my clinic, the clinic I work at. The clinic I work at is really large, so it almost feels like a hospital in a way. The concealer I used, sorry, I'm kind of going back and forth between, but this is a group Ready With Me and Get to Know Me, so I'm going back and forth. I used the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I don't really use hydrating products much ever because, again, I am an oily person, but the original of that concealer I do not like at all. It is way, way too dry and like cakey. This is my favorite makeup hack, by the way. When you get ready to set your powder, just make sure you wipe off all the little creases. Oh, this lighting is really way too good. You can see every flaw on my face right now. But yeah, I like to wipe off all of everything that's creasing so that when I set it with my little powder puff, I'm not setting the creases in because we don't want that to stay. I'm also just doing my makeup to go nowhere right now. I'm just doing it for fun, which I actually do a lot of the time, even when I'm not recording for anything. I just really like to do makeup. I like to serve once a day. I like to do a little bit of makeup at least once a day. It just makes me feel, it's like a little boost for me. I do think I'm in a good place with myself though, where I don't necessarily feel just wretched without makeup, which is kind of how I used to feel in high school. I was very insecure without makeup, and now I'm kind of to a point where I'm like, yeah, I love makeup. Like, it's one of my favorite things in the world. I love it. It's so fun. It's like my way of being creative in my everyday life. But yeah, I don't feel like I just have to have it. So yeah, I feel like I've kind of grown to be in a better place with that. The powder I use smells like just the perfume you would expect a 90-year-old woman to wear. It is very, very strongly scented powder, so if you don't like scents, don't use this. It's the Airspun loose face powder, but the scent does not last long on your face, or at least I don't think it does. I don't notice it throughout the day. I only notice it when I first put it on. But yeah, I just kind of powder where I tend to get greasy the fastest. And then for the rest of my face, I'm gonna go in. This is Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder. We're seeing a theme here with all the matte products. Very 2016 of me, I know, but it was a good makeup era, I can't lie. A lot of it was really intense, but ooh, it's a lot of pigment. Yeah, some of these, I'd say like 80% of my makeup is drugstore makeup, and some of it, a lot of it, is better than the higher end products I've tried. Like, I really love this. This is comparable to the Hoola bronzer, in my opinion, which I have not used in forever, or thought about in forever actually. But that was my go-to in like middle school, was the Hoola bronzer. It's funny, like when I was younger, I feel like I used much more expensive makeup than I do now. Probably because I'm paying for it now. But yeah, I do feel like a lot of drugstore products are just as good, if not better, than the higher end products. One thing I do think is worth splurging on with makeup though is mascara, which might be controversial because mascara runs out probably the fastest of any makeup product. So it's like, why would I spend a lot of money on that? I think it's worth it. There are very few, in all honesty, there are very few drugstore mascaras that I like as much as the high-end ones that are my favorite, as opposed to the other products, which again, like I think that bronzer is very comparable to the more expensive one I used to use. So yeah, I love blush. I use way too much blush. This is Too Faced Cloud Crush Blurring Blush, and it's a little baby mini one that I got in a holiday gift set. Holiday gift sets are also a great way to get better deals on things. So pretty, so pink. I think Sabrina Carpenter kind of brought back the bright pink blush moment, which I'm obsessed with. Thank you, Sabrina. Let's all say thank you. I feel like in 2016, the obsession was highlighter. Right now, the obsession is blush. I wonder what's gonna come next. There was also a big brow phase somewhere in the middle, maybe like 2020, if I'm remembering right, where everyone was like doing crazy stuff with their brows, like the soap brows, which I'm not saying that looked bad on everyone or anyone. It did look bad. It did look bad on the way a lot of people said it was kind of crazy. I never tried it. I am blessed to have a pretty good amount of brow hair, and I'm pretty much able to tame it with just a regular brow gel. I don't need to like soap it down. So pretty lucky there. I think this might be the first the first non-drugstore product of the video. This is an Ofra highlighter in Glazed Donut, and the reason it is the first non-drugstore product in the video is because it's from TJ Maxx. I'll just be honest with you. That is simply the truth, but it is gorgeous. Sometimes I get a little iffy about TJ Maxx makeup because you just don't know when some things have been touched. Some things it's very obvious if they've been swatched. Like I always try to look at a lipstick in TJ Maxx before I buy it, because you can really tell on a lipstick if someone has touched it or not. With stuff like this, it's a little bit harder to tell. I've heard you can get like a little alcohol swab and go over the top layer to remove the top layer, to kind of sterilize it in case anyone's touched it, because it would be really hard to know if anyone had touched this. It was packaged pretty well though. I always try to check out the packaging there. I'm just a little bit of a clean freak when it comes to makeup, which I think you kind of need to be. I am kind of a freak in the way that I clean my makeup brushes pretty consistently, like once every few months. Maybe that's actually probably not as often as you should do it, but yeah, I don't like the feeling when your makeup brushes get like caked up with liquid makeup. I'm not fond of that, so I do clean them pretty often, and I try to like wipe down all of the makeup that's loose in my bag pretty often with like Clorox wipes, because mascara gets everywhere in my makeup bag, all over my other products. That's the only thing I don't like about my mascara, which I will get to in just a minute. This is what I do for my eyebrows. This is just the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil. They didn't have whatever. I switch around my brow pencils a lot. It really doesn't matter which one I use, because I feel like I don't do a whole lot with it. I don't try to draw on precise brush strokes or anything. I just fill in like a block of color and try to do a little bit less towards the front, because we don't want that like 2016 harsh block brow per se. If you do, more power to you. I just not really my vibe. So yeah, I just kind of try to, oh, I look crazy. This is such an adjustment, just staring at myself like this. Yeah, it's, oh. Can you hear my dog licking himself right now? Yeah, I didn't think about the dog being an issue for filming things. He's never an issue. That's my child. That's my baby. I got him. This is another huge important thing to know about me, is Rocky, because he is my life. He is everything to me. I got him as soon as I moved out of the dorm freshman year. Let's go on a side quest about my dorm situation really quickly. I lived with my wonderful cousin, who I love more than anyone on this earth. Who I still, did I say loved, past tense? I still love her more than anyone on this earth. She is still alive. Sorry, that sounded like past tense. I was like, no. I lived with my wonderful cousin Olivia, and we were really good roommates actually. I think like we kept our stuff like pretty on our own sides. Like we were both pretty clean people, and we had a lot of fun together. But we both shared a hatred of the dorm itself. And I actually betrayed her a little bit, and I moved out a few months early, which you're not supposed to do actually. I just kind of like sneakily moved myself out little by little, because freshmen are required to stay on campus for a full year, which I think is ridiculous in my opinion. I don't think that that's good for you. I really don't. I think that for people like me, he's hacking over there. For people like me, separation from school and life or work and life is really, really important. That separation means a lot to anxious people like me. And when you live in a dorm, your life is school. You live at school. Like there is no separation whatsoever. So that was not my favorite situation. That's not a situation that either of us thrived in, me or her. But I ended up leaving a few months early, because I knew where I wanted to live. I knew I wanted to live at these apartments. So I got put on the wait list pretty early, because I was like, well, they're definitely not going to have one open up until after my first year is done, because frankly, they don't have openings very often. So I was like, I need to get on the list pretty early, and then maybe by the end of the first year, maybe they'll have an opening. And then they had someone move out unexpectedly a few months before my freshman year ended. And I was like, I have to do it. Like, and my dad was like, you have to do it. You're struggling, like living there. I think it was very clear to everyone in my life that I was not doing great at that point. Because again, I think separation between school and life, work and life is really important. And I just had none there living on campus. So I feel like I just skipped some steps telling you about NYX brow glue. Love it. I really don't think that any brow glue is necessarily better than another. Like for me, brow glue is a brow glue. Like it's all the same thing, to be honest. I've gotten the is it W7, the brand that sometimes shows up at like TJ Maxx and Five Below? I've gotten that one before when I run into it. It's the way I go about brow gel is whichever one I see first in the grocery store for under like $20 when I need one, that's the one I get. He is huffing and puffing over there because he does not understand whom I am speaking to. Oh, it's okay, Rocky. I'm just talking to probably some people in my hometown who are laughing at me for talking about myself for 45 minutes. Well, in case y'all were wondering what I'm up to, y'all can catch up on me too. It's a Laura refresher course for my eyeshadow, if you could even call it that, because this is just like my basic everyday makeup tutorial that I would wear on like the weekend during the day, not for like a date night or anything per se, because it's pretty plain, but just like shopping maybe during the day. I literally just go in with my bronzer shade and go all over the lid like everybody else. It's a pretty common technique, I feel. And then I'll go in with my highlighter on this tiny little brush, and I kind of go right there in the inner corner of my eyes. And I'll try to do my brow bone too, even though I need to do my eyebrows soon. And this lighting is making it really clear that I do need to pluck those soon. That's okay. We're doing real makeup on a real face. On a real face, no beauty filter. Unless I can figure out how to do a beauty filter. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. That's for TikTok. I won't do that here. But I am fond of a filter. Yeah, that's basically all the eyeshadow I do. And then I guess I'll do a little bit of my eyeliner. The way I do eyeliner is also pretty weird. I just kind of smear it on the lid haphazardly with no precision whatsoever, and then I just take a finger, pick a finger, any finger, and I literally smear it all over. I love how 5 minutes ago I was talking about how clean I am with makeup and how paranoid I am about makeup being perfectly clean, and then now here I am, I'm just tearing up my eyeball with my hands. But yeah, this is God's tool that he gave us right here. This is, I mean, and I like this technique because, bold move there. Bold to call that a technique, but yeah, I like this way of doing it because you can't mess it up. Like, look, I just smeared that completely in the wrong direction. Doesn't matter, because I'm gonna rub it right in, and it's gonna be just fine. It's gonna look exactly like the other eye, and if it doesn't, I'll add more to the other eye. Or take some away if I can smear enough. Yeah, that's pretty much all I do. That's pretty much all I do for eyeliner. I had a really crazy, you know what? Bold of me to talk about the eyebrow phase a minute ago, because I had a really crazy eyeliner phase in middle school. It was just so vicious. I was doing just chunk eyeliner all the way across, like the whole lid was just solid black, not like buffed out like this, very thick black opaque line with just liquid eyeliner that I should not have had access to at that age. But you know. Oh, another hack, I use makeup erasers not to take my makeup off, but to wipe my hands on while I'm doing my makeup. That's my little way I keep some semblance of cleanness going on there. I'm gonna redo this because my hair is escaping. Yeah, what else is there to know about me? Oh, I was talking about Rocky earlier. Sorry, I got off topic. I'm sorry. Rocky, I got as soon as I moved out of the dorm and into these apartments, which I did a little bit early my freshman year, as we were talking about just a minute ago. I got him almost immediately. Like, I'm pretty sure within a month of moving in here, I got him because I was having a lot of trouble sleeping. I used to have a lot of sleep issues. I still do from time to time. But when I first moved in here, it's the first time I ever lived by myself, because before I lived with my parents and then I lived with my cousin in the dorm. And obviously the dorm is just like a cajillion people in one place. So it was just like the polar opposite of being alone. And then I moved into an apartment and I'm by myself for the first time. And I was like, wow, this is really kind of scary. I loved it. Don't get me wrong. I think probably the happiest day of my life is when I walked in here for the first time and I was like, wow, this is my place, which is just crazy. I'm very, very blessed and lucky to have had my own place and to have my own place currently, because I am very young to have that. I'm very, very grateful. Rocky's over me talking. Very grateful. I love this place. I can't think of anything I dislike about this place either. Wow, I'm just like on a sick positivity kick today. I've been that way recently. My mother even commented on it. She was like, you've been pretty up lately. She didn't say that. She's not really up on slang like that, but she was like, you've been, like, you woke up early on the weekend and went and did things. I was like, I know, it's crazy. It's pretty crazy. I recently tried counseling for the first time, which I've never done in my life. I've always been on, this is another good thing you need to know about me, one of the most fundamental things along with Rocky. I've been on anxiety meds and depression meds forever, but I've never tried counseling. And I was like, now that I have clinic insurance, why don't I give it a go, give it a whirl, just for funsies, you know, just to see like if I could reap any benefits from it, considering the visits are $5 each. So like, why wouldn't I do that? Tarte Manicure Mascara, worth every penny, and they usually have sales on the TikTok shop, which is like, that's so annoying and awful, but yeah, it's true. They usually have sales. They usually do have good sales on the TikTok shop. They'll have like 2 of these plus something else for like $30. I've done that like a cajillion times on there. But yeah, like I said, mascara is one of the only things that I'm like is so worth the splurge, in my opinion. Like, just absolutely worth it. There are some drugstore mascaras that are good, but there are none that I would call great. And maybe I just haven't tried the right ones. I feel like I've tried everything though. I've been doing makeup since I was like probably 13 years old. But yeah, back to my anxiety / counseling thing. I've had horrible anxiety since I was a child. Just like crippling anxiety. I've been on medication from a very, very, very young age. I think maybe right when I started high school. I could be wrong. If I'm lying, sorry. Probably don't care that much, but yeah. I've been on meds forever, but I've never done counseling. It was suggested to me by the first doctor I ever saw, and I was like, no, which is just not the attitude to have. I think that far too many people, obviously myself included, jump straight to meds when they could do counseling. And yeah, as a nurse, I know that that's true. And counseling is a wonderful, wonderful thing. I've been to 2 sessions and I'm not going back to the same therapist again. He, in my defense, he told me as soon as I walked in the door, he was like, you can fire me at any time. I know that you only picked me because I was first available. And I was like, oh, gagged, because he was correct. He was correct. I don't like to wait. Like, I don't like to wait when I don't have to wait, you know? The reason he was first available is because he's fairly new there and he's a man, obviously. And I feel like when people have a preference for their therapist, it tends to be they prefer a woman therapist. So yeah, the wait time for the women was super long. The wait time for other men was fairly long, not as long, because again, everyone wants a woman therapist. And they just, as soon as I called and asked for an appointment, they were like, basically, if you want to be seen within the next like couple months, it's gonna be this guy. And I was like, he sounds lovely. Love that. Let's see him. And I really did enjoy the setup. Like, I enjoyed, I don't know how to describe it, the way that counseling works. Even though he wasn't really a good match for me. He's not really specializing in problems of young women my age, but young women's relationship problems. Not really his forte, believe it or not. Oh, dog is over me. Dog is ready to go. Oh, O-U-T. I just took him on an extra long walk though, so that he would not be upset with me for filming, and now he is anyway. But yeah, even though I didn't feel like I was a good match with that therapist, I've enjoyed the way that therapy worked, and I enjoyed being able to speak freely without judgment. And not that I can't do that with people in my life, because I can. It's just there's another level to it when it's a therapist, and it feels different. And I think that it's a good thing. You're not really, I wonder if he'll walk into frame so you can see him. I'm scared to move the phone because this is like really hard to set up, but maybe he'll walk into frame. I spend probably the longest time of my makeup routine I spend on mascara because I love lashes. But yeah, I'm trying a new female therapist soon, within the next month, because they had one open up. I only gave it 2 tries. After my second therapy session, I called them and I was like, hey, he's great. He's great, but can I get on the list for a woman? And they were like, absolutely, no problem. Please don't feel like you're the only one to ever do this. Like, this is a common thing. And I was like, yeah, he did tell me he could fire me, like, as soon as I walked in. He didn't tell me that he could fire me. He told me that I could fire him at any time, which is very sweet. That's a good thing for a therapist to say. Yeah, he's lovely. He's just, not my match, I fear. So yeah, I'm gonna try the woman therapist thing, see how that goes, see if I like that better. But yeah, I feel like that's kind of why I've been so up recently. That's how I got onto this, is that's kind of why I've been feeling so good recently, I think, because I just, even though nothing earth-shattering happened at therapy per se, I feel like making a step towards healing, making a step toward, no, like, so cringy, no, taking a step towards bettering yourself, doing something good for yourself. Jimmy cracked my elbow just now. That's like a nervous habit. Ooh. Yeah, it made me feel good to make a decision that was good for me in the long run. And I feel like continuing to go to therapy with another therapist is also a good decision for me. And I'm proud of myself for making it. But yeah. Now I'm going back in with my highlighter on that tiny brush, and I'm just kind of doing a more defined highlighter, which I don't always do, but I like it sometimes. It makes me feel very cute, like very, like, I don't know, snatched. I don't even dislike my nose. The thing I dislike most about my face right now is my under eyes, because they are so dark, and it is not my fault. I sleep. It's partially genetics. I've always had a little bit of a dark under eye situation happening, but I'd say 95% of my under eye darkness is Grande Lash's fault. And Grande Lash, I gotta give them their flowers, because it is the best performing lash serum that I've ever tried, and I've tried probably every single one that is out there. I've tried the Ordinary one, I've tried the Terez and Honor one, just everything that has been available for purchase in the past 5 years, because, you know, there was kind of a rise in lash serums over the past few years as well. I've tried them all for months at a time. I've given them all their fair chance. Grande Lash is the best performing one. My eyelashes grew like weeds for months, and they are still fairly long. I've not used it in several months because I might sound really stupid. I think is it prostaglandins that's the active ingredient in lash serums? If I'm wrong, hey, just forget it. I'm just a nurse. I'm not a biochemist. I don't know about ingredients, but whatever ingredient that is in Grande Lash that makes it work so much better than all of the other ones, unfortunately, it also makes you lose fat around your eyes. It's called orbital fat loss, and that is why my under eyes have been so dark for the past few months. And I don't think that I'm knocking things over. I suppose you can regrow fat around your eyes. I don't really know if that's gonna heal, to be honest. I think it's kind of a modern problem. Like, probably lash serums are a modern invention, modern thing. Maybe it's Googleable. I'll check and see if I'm gonna regain my fat under my eyes, which to be fair, again, still giving Grande Lash their flowers. It worked fantastically, and to be fair, I was warned. Like, the internet told me, hey, this causes orbital fat loss, and I heard that, and I was like, ding, 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 fat loss, I'm in. Give me 30 of them. I just spit everywhere. I was like, give me 30 of them. Give me a full body Grande Lash. Which is just silly, but yeah. They warned me. I was like, that can't possibly be bad. Orbital fat loss, that sounds great. It's not great. My under eyes are literally so dark. But yeah, I've kind of learned to rock with them. Again, I don't feel horrible without makeup. I feel a lot better with it. Yeah, this is pretty much my whole full face. I think I walked us through everything. Looking at all of this, it really is a drugstore makeup tutorial. Like, looking at it all laid out together, minus 2 products. 3. I'm holding 3. Hey, can you count? Minus 3 products. But yeah, this is pretty much a drugstore makeup tutorial, but it's also just my everyday look. Speaking of drugstore mascaras that I bought this at TJ Maxx the other day because I was like, I kind of need a mascara. This one's starting to dry up a little bit. So I was like, I kind of need a new one. Let me try this one. Voluminous sounds great. It's just not. It's just doesn't work. Doesn't work at all. And I immediately grabbed this one. It was on the top of the trash can. Don't judge me. I grabbed this one off the top of the trash and I was like, I'm just going to keep making this work for a couple more weeks, even though it's kind of dried out, until I can make it to Ulta and buy another one, and or go on TikTok shop and buy one in a pack or something and waste $30 instead of $38. But yeah, this is pretty much for lips. I don't really do lips. I get like a tissue and I wipe off the foundation, or I get my hands, again, God's tool, and I wipe off the foundation, and then I'll do like a chapstick, because this is my everyday look. This is not like date night. This is not the club. This is this is just every day. So yeah, I'm doing like a Burt's Bees birthday cake chapstick. That's my vibe. But setting spray, last step. My lovely cousin who I lived with put me onto this, but so did the Shelby Ann girl on TikTok. Best advice for this though, put your hair back, close your eyes, hold your breath, because this is, I know I'm gonna look terrible spraying this, I don't care. This stuff, this is hairspray. This is just face safe hairspray. That's what it is. That's what it feels like. That's what it smells like. You don't want to get it in your eyes. You don't want to get it in your mouth. I would even say keep your eyes closed for a few seconds after to let it settle. Here we go. It smells pretty good. Actually, it smells like expensive hairspray. Ooh. I just know I looked insane. And there's really no need to even fan this. This is just a habit, because most setting sprays you do need to fan. But this one you don't need to. It's instant. It's literally called 3-second setting mist. You don't really have to dry it at all. That's a habit of mine. It smells kind of like a coconut hairspray to me. Like kind of a beachy moment. But yeah, it locks your makeup in. I cannot lie. It locks it in. I got in my hair right here and I can feel that it's like tangling it. It's hairspray. It's just hairspray, but it works really, really well. I've used hairspray as setting spray before. When I used to do dance recitals as a child, that's what everyone did. You just get that Tresemme and all over your face, girl. You wake up with 20 pimples. Your makeup didn't budge during your routine, did it? Like, it did what you wanted. Yeah, that's pretty much my full makeup routine. I may curl my hair a little bit, possibly, potentially, maybe not. Again, I have nowhere to go. I like getting ready. It makes me happy. I don't usually wake up early enough to do makeup like this for work. I have before a couple of times, but usually for work, it is a much more simple tutorial. I'll just do I could probably do a video on that too. It takes literally like 15 minutes rather than 45. This is 45 minutes long. Holy crap, no one cares. That's okay. That's fine. Yeah, that's the tutorial. I don't really know that I did that much get ready or get to know me stuff. I told you about my college, my work, my dog, my anxiety. That's all you need to know, really. Told you I love Halloween. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else about me. I don't know me that well. That's why I'm in counseling. So, yeah, I'm gonna maybe possibly curl my hair and then throw in a little clip of the final look. And that will be my first YouTube video, and I'm posting it even if it's bad because I don't care. But yeah, love ya. If you watch this long, thanks for either loving or loving to make fun of me. Bye.